What's up, guys? Welcome back to our Minecraft Pocket Edition Survival Guide series, and this is episode 9. Last episode, we went ahead and did a iron farm. Also, last episode, I said that I was gonna change some of these. Villagers to librarian. And the reason why, because I wanted to get the best loot, and all these guys are basically one trade. I basically got the best loot from all of them already. All I have to do is name them, because I kind of forget which ones are they, but I have protection for sharpness 5, unbreaking 3, looting 3, fortune 3, basically the main essential ones for looting, or the main essential ones that you need for the game. I also, of course, I have a cleric, so I could change my rotten flesh and get emeralds out of it. If you're wondering if changing all your villagers into different professions is gonna affect your iron farm, it's not. As long as there's 20 villagers with professions on them. What are we gonna do today? For today's episode, we are gonna do item sorting and farm upgrading. I wanted to dedicate this episode of item sorting and transporting because I want you guys to be able to do unique things at an early start of the game. First, let me go ahead and do something real quick right here. So I'm gonna make an automatic system for them to get killed. And if you're wondering how we're gonna make an automatic system for them to just automatically die, follow what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm gonna place one hopper like this, funneling down to the ground, and then I'm gonna hit this hopper out like this. And the reason why I'm doing this, with the hopper being right here, is basically the 22 block that makes them drop to 1/2 a heart. So once we remove that half a heart, once we remove that, basically that extra block, and they land on the 23rd block, they will die instantly. Even though they fall on the 23rd block, they're still gonna drop some items, and I want to collect that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little system so I can transport my items. So before I start making my item transport system, make sure you have your hoppers aligned like this. Whenever we hit that lever, the top hopper, it's going to be aligned with the bottom hopper. Before we get into making the transportation system, what we're going to do right now is we're going to make an item sorter. And how we're going to make this item sorter is just place your chest down. But you can place them on a chest, it doesn't really matter how you do it. But because I'm going to make my item sorter of rotten flesh and other stuff, once you have your row of chests and your hoppers funneling in towards the chest, what you want to do next is you're going to want to place a block like this. And then we're going to place comparators. Once you place your blocks, we're going to place comparators like this. We're going to place hoppers going in the comparators. And how we're going to do that, basically, we're going to do it like this. Not like that. Place. Your hoppers should be going in the comparators like this. So I forgot that I don't have to do it for this part, but overall it's the same thing. All right, so what you want to do next is once you have your block, once you already did that, place 2 blocks in the bottom like this. So once you place your 2 blocks, you're gonna want put repeaters facing in like this. Place another block on top like this, and then place redstone, and that's gonna activate our repeaters. We're gonna want to put solid. We're gonna place a glass right here. We're gonna place redstone right here, redstone on top of the glass, and then place a block right here, and then place a block right here. Make sure they're solid blocks too, because we're gonna have redstone activating this as well. And that's literally all you have to do to make an item sorter. And what's next now is we're gonna have to place items that we're gonna want to sort. And what I want to sort is rotten flesh. Alright, for the item that we want to sort, it's gonna be a little tricky to do it on mobile, but just place the items that you want to sort in there, and then go to a chest. The way how I did this basically I did that. I just slid them on over to get 1 each, and the reason why we want 1 each, because we're gonna have to put them in here, so nothing else but rotten flesh gets sorted out in my chest. and it's always gonna be 41 stacks right there. What happens is every time something goes in there, like rotten flesh only, it's gonna sort out the rotten flesh. It's pretty much it with the item sorting. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill my other side up, and then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna transport these items in here. Item sorting was the easy part. The little kind of difficult part is transporting the items. And so now that this is the part that sorts our items out, now so we could transport items in here, we're gonna place hoppers going on top, and then make sure they're funneling in towards each other like this. The tricky part, what I'm gonna do next is we're gonna start transporting our items. And if you're wondering how we're gonna transport them, this is how I'm gonna do the little setup. So grab your dispenser. This is why I had this set up like this. Place it right here. And then if you're wondering what the dispenser is gonna do to transport our items, you're gonna see right now. Let me just go ahead and grab all this. When you're trying to transport items, to make it easier, try to align yourself to where you're gonna want your items to go. So once you already placed your dispenser, so to have our items shoot automatically, and to do that, we're gonna have a comparator, repeater, and Cereso dust, and a solid block. What you want to do is get a comparator, put it on a single tick, click it one time, repeater. Once you have your repeater, place a redstone line like this, and it should be making like a little clock. It's not going to be dispensing anything because it's not connected yet. To connect its power to the dispenser, you put a redstone block on top, and then from there, everything that gets dropped from the zombies is gonna get funneled into this dispenser, and they're gonna get automatically dropped out like this. What you can do next is you could add water, because this is where our items are gonna be transported. And then for our items to go up again, we're gonna do the same thing what we did with the zombie spawners. So I need to go get soul sand and then our kelp. I also forgot to mention to get ice, because we do not want our items to get stuck on the block that it's going to be transporting to. So if you haven't already, well, I didn't even mention it, but go ahead and place a button so it can trap the water like that. And then right here, we're going to place our ice. I believe ice doesn't melt, and then if it does, then we have a problem. So right after you place your ice, we're gonna go to the part where you're lined up. So I'm lined up right here. And so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna place water up here. So once you place that water up there, go ahead and cover that up real quick so you won't mess up your redstone contraptions. Go ahead and cover this up right here. And one thing I like to do is to trap water. Sometimes I like to use trapdoors. So I'm gonna place trapdoors right here. Now that I placed my trapdoors, the water is not gonna be flowing out now. Now that you guys got that down, we're gonna wanna put kelp. I'm gonna place my kelp until I reach the very top. So now that you placed all that kelp going to the top, go ahead and break it. Break the block on the bottom as well. And then place the soul sand. And it's gonna make the water column. And we're basically done with transporting items. And if you want to see how it's gonna work, I'm gonna ahead and show you real quick how it works. Let's go ahead and place all these. And then, as you can see, everything that gets dropped into the hoppers that get funneled into the dispenser are getting shot to the bubble column. Once it goes to the bubble column is directly next to our hoppers where they're going to be going into our item sorter. And then from there, everything just going to be getting sorted out, and then don't have to worry about anything else without having to organize all the unstackable items like armor and all that things. Whatever else they drop, it's gonna come to this chest, and these two whole chests is just gonna be filled with rotten flesh because I'm gonna use it for my cleric. That's the reason why I have a cleric up there. Now that you know how that works, we can go and replicate this on the other farms. I wanted to build this because I wanted you guys to, like I was saying before, I wanted you guys to have ideas on how to build things the way you want to desire to. Like for example, you want to build a mob spawner room, like you want the items to be sorted out and in one direction, and you don't want to waste a lot of hoppers. And then sometimes items cannot get funneled upwards on a hopper. They only go down or to the left or to the right. And yeah, making these little drop shoe systems like the dispenser that I made helps a lot. And then making these water columns also to transport the items up and down, it's just very useful. They become very simple once you get the hang of it. I like making automatic contraptions because it makes it so much easier in my part, and especially especially on mobile, like everything has to be automatic. Right after I'm done making the auto sorters for my other farms, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do next. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna item sort all of our sheep wool. As you can see, I have all the 16 colors. And if you want to know how I got all these 16 colors, I did have to explore around a little bit. But when I go around exploring, usually you get lucky with finding all types of flowers. And if you have these type of flowers, I basically all type of flowers except for the wither rose, and I have the cactus and sea pickles. And we're gonna be making farms with those two eventually. But for now, just grab all the rose types that you see right here, all the flowers that you see right here, grab them, and then you can start making every single dye. I really don't remember which ones you have to combine to get certain type of dye colors, but basically what I recommend is try to collect all the flower types. We're gonna make a farm out of these flowers, and so we could use them for decorations and for more dyes. We have this sheep farm already ready with all the dye colors. We're gonna start item sorting it. And if you guys want to, you guys can build this underground. It's so much easier. Yeah, I don't want mine to be underground, so I'm gonna make mine go up, and then I'm gonna do the same method what I did with the other ones. Bring it out here. Comparator Repeater. And the redstone. So now that I made my little contraption, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna start putting hoppers in this thing. Alright, now that I have this like that, if you're wondering how I'm gonna connect this, I'm gonna have to crouch right here. Would it lock my hopper? I don't believe it will. I did this. I believe everything should be good now. So let's go ahead and put this in here. It works. Alright, cool. So now everything gets funneled in here. And then, no, yeah, perfect. We're literally doing the same thing what we did with the last farms. There's nothing different. And now what I have to do is now I have to make the item sorter. Now you gotta place these blocks. So, same thing as usual. I'm placing blocks here. And then go all around like this. Okay. I'm gonna go out two like this. Put the redstone. The reason why I'm doing this because I want other colors also, and also because I'm a builder. I like to utilize every block for anything. So for example, like if I'm gonna create a village, I will use the wool so I can know where my buildings are gonna be at or how I want to do these. That's why it's always good to outline some stuff because it'll become useful in the long run. And I could use all these wools for anything. I can make any type of map art and other sorts of things. Eventually I'm gonna have a world download, and this world download is gonna contain everything that I'm making right now. And yeah, so whenever you guys want to download this world, whenever I have this world ready for you guys to download, I want you guys to look at these farms and so you guys can get ideas from them, any other things like that. Because usually when I see some other worlds, they have alright farms, but I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of they're a little messy, you know. Like I was saying before, I like to go more of a realism, and some people don't really go for that, and it kind of ruins their world. Well, I'm not saying it will ruin their world, but for some people, they're like they build something and they don't like how it builds, and then they just want to start all over. If I would have just left those sheep farms like that, it would have looked so ugly. Since I built a building around it, it's hiding all the contraptions of the redstone. And when every time I look at it, it looks like a real building, not like a farm. And you can see, like once I'm done with this item sorter, I am gonna build a building around it as well. But it's not gonna be a crazy looking building either. Like I said, simple makes everything looks better.
So place these hoppers in here.
Now we gotta do is a system so we can transport our items. So do what I'm doing right here. And this is gonna be where our items are gonna flow to. Crap. I'm gonna connect this with the hoppers, and you're gonna see how I'm gonna do that right now. You want your hoppers to funnel in like this because that's how they're gonna be pulling each other to go to that side. So let's go ahead and do this. Now I have my hoppers connected. It's a good thing that we made this iron farm because it's a lot of hoppers. Like look at all these hoppers. But this is why I did the iron farm. And if you guys wondering too if I'm gonna make a building for the iron farm, I most likely am, but I'm just trying to figure out how I want the building to look. 'Cause it is a big building. But overall, we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with that later. Now that we got the item sorting done, let's go on and finish this up. Let's go ahead and connect all this together. Alright, cool. I covered that up already. So now what I have to do is I have to place water. Alright, if you're wondering how I'm going to get all the wool in here, just watch and learn, guys. Easy and simple. Just the dirt right here. And then I'm going to place this bucket of water up here, like this. You can go ahead and break the dirt on the bottom. It's going to fall to the bottom. And that's when you get your kelp. And hope you have soul sand. And then we're gonna fill this up all the way to the top. Alright, so break the block on the bottom and place your soul sand. And now you can go ahead and cover this up. Now that we got that done, everything is going up like this. That's basically it, guys. That's really not that much what you have to do. Now what I have to do is just put the items that I want in there. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the item sorting, and then after that I'm gonna make a building. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. Alright guys, I just finished up what I wanted to build, and it's not much, something simple. I did organize all the wool, so all the white wool is gonna go here, the light gray, dark gray, the black, and so on and so forth. Most of them haven't been filled up yet, but over time, the more wool they drop, they're gonna start sorting up in here. I like how it looks. It's simple. You can see some of the wool going in there. I believe that was white. This is how it looks on the inside. Everything's covered up. Click the hopper. I just have to wait for that to fill up, and everything is ready to go. I have a bunch of ideas when it comes to building, and I wanna make them in this world so you guys can see what you can do. I am really satisfied how this came out. Everything's all simple and easy, works well, there's nothing wrong with it, and it looks slick and nice. It looks like it belongs there. So I'm in my spider farm right now. I had to change up a couple things right here because and some of the stuff was flying out, and then some of the stuff was not going up the water column. Everything has an item sorted as well, and it's the same concept too. As you can see, it's just a little small one that we did right here. It's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys with item sorting. I do want to show you guys one more thing before we end this episode. I came to my skeleton spawner room and then I did the same thing here. Everything's all the same thing when it comes to item sorting. I just like to have things for aesthetic reasons. So these 4 chests are going to be filled with bones and arrows, and these last 3 are just miscellaneous items like armor and bow and arrows. This is why I wanted to dedicate this episode to item sorting, transporting, and farm upgrading, because it just makes everything so much easier and simple for you guys. And like I was saying before, everything has to be automatic when it comes to mobile gaming. So yeah guys, this is the end of the episode. I also want to say I'm sorry for lagging on uploading videos. I was at the hospital for some health issues, and I'm currently doing better right now. I really don't want to get too much into what happened, but other than I'm doing well and I'm doing fine right now. Yeah guys, I'm sorry for the lack of updated videos or anything like that. I hope you guys understand. I also want to say thank you guys for subbing. I really didn't notice we had 19 subscribers. I'm not trying to say I'm a busy person, but I just don't really pay attention to stuff like that, like little things like that. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for subbing, of course, and liking, commenting, all those other cool things. It's helpful, of course, but for me, I really like to interact with the community as well. I don't want to make it seem like it's just on me, like the community is also a big part of what I'm doing also. And I have a lot of gratitude. I'm always thankful for everything. I'm more thankful than ever, and I'm just trying to take things one step at a time. Guys, this concludes today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. Like and share. My name is Animated Didi, and y'all have a good one. Later, y'all.